So sometimes I feel like there are certain shows that are created just to like piss me off sometimes. And the Vampire Diaries is like one of those shows because it started off with season 1 and me not really liking the first couple of episodes and then really getting into the show. And the second season came about and it's like I love it so much, but then there are things about it I just can't stand. And this is basically going to be about the second season. What I love about the second season of The Vampire Diaries is how much more plot it has. You know, in the beginning it's kind of the first season was sort of setting up everything, getting used to the universe and seeing how stuff worked. And then this season we get a lot more story. We get a lot more of Katherine's background, Stefan's background. We also get a lot of development for Elena. And I friggin' love Elena in this season. I mean, that episode where she talks to Stefan about how she doesn't want to become a vampire and she wants to have a family, like, that made me solidify my love of Elena, because for me, it shows that she's dating Stefan, and she cares about Stefan, and she loves Stefan, but her long-term plans may not include Stefan, and she's already kind of been ready for that, and that makes me respect her character so much, and I love that about her. I love how Bonnie became so much more powerful this season. You know, it's one of the few things to get right with her character, but I'll get into that later. You know, I love how they put her to the forefront and really make her a force when she gets screen time. I love the original storyline. I love the whole mystery with the moonstone. I even like the twist with the moonstone, because even though some people say it's cheap, I'm saying, well, at least it shows that all these people have really been working for nothing. It almost kind of seems like a slap in the face to all the people who have died, like Mason and whatnot, who have died to get to this point. And so, yeah, story-wise, and with a little bit of character development for certain characters, like especially Caroline. Like, I always kind of had a soft spot for Caroline because I felt bad for her because she's got used by a lot of different people, but this season, she kind of stepped her game up. Like, when she became a vampire and, like, pushed David, I'm just like, yes, Caroline, get that ass, get your shit. And she did, and I love Caroline for that. And I really love the story when it's focusing on the story. And I think when it does that, sometimes it's even better than sorry to say this, True Blood, because at least in the Vampire Diaries, every little storyline that's separate comes together for one story. Like, it'll start off as like different things, but they're all interconnected into one story, and all the storylines come together like midway and become one solid story. Whereas in True Blood, I feel like the past seasons have gotten very convoluted, and I never thought I would say that the Vampire Diaries is something better than True Blood, but in this case they did. And while I love both, I feel like in the Vampire Diaries, while it lacks on certain things, it does know how to interconnect its storylines very well. And a lot of people complain that there's not enough, you know, that there's too much plot this season. We'll never understand them. That's kind of why I'm out of fandoms now, because I just never connect with them. I love this season more than season 2 because it focuses more on a plot and overreaching story arc and not just, you know, life and times of Mystic Falls. I mean, we already had Buffy for that. We don't need to do another thing. My big problem with the Vampire Diaries, and I'm going to get to these because I have a lot of problems with the show, and while I love the show, these are just little problems that keep me from just being like, best, you know, vampire show out there right now. Because it's not. And these are some of the issues as to why I don't think so. 1. They cannot develop anything without a love triangle. Everything becomes a fucking love triangle in the Vampire Diaries. Sorry. If it's not Stefan, Elena, and Damon, that's one love triangle. And that's like, oh, okay, that's in the book, so we have to keep that in. Alright, whatever. And I'll get to that whole books argument when I talk about Damon. But, alright, so it's that. Then it's Jeremy, Bonnie, and Luca, which Jeremy and Bonnie, I'll get into that later. But let me talk, that's another love triangle. Then Caroline, Tyler, and, Matt. Like, every single storyline has to come to a love triangle. They don't know how to develop characters without a love triangle. They don't know how to do extra plot lines or stories that aren't a love triangle. Like, right now, Caroline and Tyler are kind of a thing. They're bringing in a girl to be part of a love triangle. Like, why? Develop the couples as is. I mean, that's the reason why I don't care. I'll always love Caroline and Matt, because they just had like once they stopped being like a weird love triangle, because it wasn't really a love triangle because Elena wasn't into Matt, but Matt started to have feelings for Caroline and they got over that. That's like my favorite couple. But, you know, it's ridiculous. They can't do anything without a love triangle. And then to talk about, you know, the couple of Jeremy and Bonnie. Okay, this couple's kind of popular now. Let me just tell you why I don't like it. I do not like this couple because they shared 0 scenes together in season 1, and in season 2 There was no lead up to them becoming a couple besides the episode where that whole idea is introduced in the Masquerade episode. Before that, there is no build up, no tension, no reason why Bonnie and Jeremy would become a couple at all. It is just completely out of left field for absolutely no reason, and therefore I can't get down with it. How am I supposed to support a couple with two people who had no interaction for a season and a half, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, they love each other. I'm like, no, that's bullshit. Especially considering the fact that they're supposedly known each other for like all of their lives, because Bonnie's Elena's best friend, and that's Elena's cousin brother. And yet, when they interact, I don't see them interact like people who've known each other for a long time, even in passing, because like friends of my brother who he's had from like middle school, elementary school, I can talk to them and be like, hey, what's up? We can still talk about stuff like that. Nothing on that level with these two. So there's no connect for them whatsoever. So I just think a couple is ridiculous. Just wanted to put that out there. As for Forward, which is like Caroline and Tyler, Tyler's really hot, and I get that, and I get that people like that, but I don't like Tyler that much because I'm still not over it. Season 1, he was a complete asshole dick to Vicky, and I feel like people just forgot about that. Like, he's not that great of a guy. He kind of got better since he became a werewolf, but he has a while for me to go before I'm like, yeah, you should date other people, because right now I'm like, no, you gotta work on you. You gotta work on you. Leave Caroline alone. And personally, I like Matt. The fact that he's not all down with the vampire thing, I can even hate on him for that, because it's just like, this is your girlfriend, you find that she's been lying to you, glamoring you, and that she's a vampire. Like, who really gonna take that and be like, oh, that's cool? Please, don't front. I'm gonna save the whole Delena, Bayman thing for the end of this. Alright, next thing I want to talk about is just about Bonnie. Bonnie is the magical plot Negro of the Vampire Diaries. Like, she's like Willow with exactly no characterization. Because that's not the most I can compare her to. Because Willow in the series was kind of like the go-to girl that they would go to get stuff, and after she got her wish power, it's like, alright, you need help with stuff, we'll go to Willow. But Willow also had storylines. She also had, you know, important things happen to her. She was a well-developed character who also could fill a role when that time came to her. Bonnie is nothing of the sort. Every time something important happens to her, next thing you know, oh, she's gone for like 3-4 episodes to focus on what? Love triangles. And it irritates me. She's just a magical Negro. All these people in the fandom hate Bonnie. And honestly, because I've read some fandom essays about talking about Bonnie and Bayman and how, oh, she's black, blah, blah, blah. I seriously feel like if she looked the way that her book counterpart looks, which is basically like Karen Gilligan from Doctor Who, the girl who plays Amy, if she looked like that instead of the way she looks right now, people would like her more. And I honestly believe that, because the fandom has given me no reason for me to think that they should hate Bonnie at all. She's the only character who stands up for people. She is the loyalist friend out of most of them. Sure, she made a mistake about the whole pocket watch thing, but honestly, I'd rather she do that. That's the most logical thing to do. It's these two vampires versus everyone in town who could get killed. If she hadn't done that, people would have gotten slaughtered. And then what? Oh yay, Damon and stuff in our lives so we can be all whatever. No, please get off that high horse. So I think that Bonnie has to be developed as a character. And then Kevin, one of the writers for a show, is like, oh, we developed her. I'm like, what? What did you develop Bonnie? By putting her with Jeremy? Was that development for you? Was that like your plot thing? Another love triangle? Because that didn't prove anything. She's dating her best friend's brother cousin, and like now she loves him. That's not character development, that's just stuff. And we already knew she would die for Elena, that she was strong, because we already established that in season 1. What are we going to get for her now? You introduce her family member for 1 second, and she never comes back. Yet we have to deal with Katherine coming in and out, even though I love Katherine, for an entire season, and you can't bring back Lucy for like another cameo thing. It's ridiculous. It's like they really don't care about her character, so I'm just like, if you don't care about her character, why is she still on the show? Why? Because I feel like if you're not going to do anything with her, get rid of her. Kill her. Because I would honestly rather you just do that than not do anything with her character at all. I actually really like Elena's character most of the time. I feel like she's only a bad character when Delena comes along, because Delena does horrible things to both Damon and Stefan. So I love her because while she is part of a love triangle, and that's really her role, to be kind of like, you know, this, and to be the tip of the triangle, she's still her own person. She still tries her best to have her own opinion. She still tries to exert herself. She still tries to 100% be Elena Gilbert, no matter what anyone else says or does. She's trying to be her own person all the time, and I respect her for that. And while I feel like she does get lackadaisical with her relationship with Stefan and whatever, and her relationship with Damon, I still feel like she's trying to be a very strong character. She still wants to, like, sacrifice herself to help people. She still wants to do what's best for people, and I respect her for that. You know, her real weakness to me is that her character is so plain that I cannot see why two guys who are that old would care about her that much. I know people have told me reasons about why she's great and whatever, and I like Elena. I legitimately like her. I just don't see her as being that special for two immortal people to fight over her affection. Like, I can get, like, mad and Tyler be like, yeah, we want Elena, whatever. But, like, she's a nice girl and she's got spunk and whatever, but you cannot tell me that she's the only girl with spunk these girls have ever met. It's really because of the whole Katherine situation, and I really wish that they would establish that more with the boys, instead of being like, no, it has nothing to do with Katherine, it's just all about her. Because it's not. There's no way it could be, because if she didn't look like Katherine, she wouldn't even be on their radar. Okay? So I really would like to see more, something special about Elena. That's the only thing I want to see about her for character development. Make Elena more than just the other average girl person. Because while she has good qualities about her, she's still nothing special enough to where I can see two immortals fighting over her, no matter how much I like her. At least with Suki, she's got magical powers and fancy tasting blood. I mean, that's Mary Sue, but at least it's something, you know? So, I'm looking forward to that. I love the secondary characters this season except Jeremy. I just don't like Jeremy that much. You know, he really shows no point. All his girlfriends die. Jeremy develops through his girlfriends dying. He's an angsty teen. He gets with Vicky. Vicky dies. He gets better. He gets with Anna. He learns about vampires. That moves on to the next arc of his story. Now this whole thing with Bonnie brings him into this. And now, because of Bonnie and what happened with her, he now has this new storyline. His girlfriends are used to make him look cool, and I'm like, no, your story is pointless. And that's the weakness of the writing. Like, they do not know how to handle Alaric or Jeremy or any of these characters like Matt without putting them in a love triangle or putting them in like a love development. They don't know how to make them stand out. They just basically sideline all the human characters and do nothing with them. And I'm just like, there's no reason for that, because you can do good stuff with human characters. I mean, I had to compare it to like Buffy or whatever, but Buffy did that all the time. And it had more, and it only had one real supernatural type character in Buffy, who's mainly human, but she has later powers. And then later on, you had Willow in like season 3 mainly being a witch, and that was really it. You know, you still had Xander and Giles and Oz when he wasn't in werewolf form, because that's different too. So I'm just like, you know, develop your other characters more. Do something with them. Because you can. Like with Caroline, her storyline with her mother is fantastic. And I'd rather watch a whole thing of that than another love triangle. So, Jenna dying was kind of like, I was upset because, you know, story-wise, it's like they could have done so much more with her, but they weren't doing anything with her to begin with. She was basically a plot device to be like blind and let people into the house. And once she knew about the vampires, there really was no more point to her character, because what else were they going to do with her? They don't know what to do with Matt. They don't know what to do with Caroline's mom. They turned Caroline into a vampire because they have nothing to do with her. So obviously they don't know what they're doing. And if they bring in Meredith, they're probably not going to know what to do with her either. So it's kind of just like, it boggles my mind. But yeah, originals love that storyline. I love Katherine, but I still feel there's too much of Katherine. Like, I get it. I get Katherine, I get her role in this whole thing, but it's like, okay, stop bringing her around all the time. Develop the other characters. Because Katherine's one of the best developed characters in the series. And I feel like, basically, her development is done. Develop these other people, because they need it more than Katherine does. And I feel like she's one of those characters that, like, the less you see her, the better. Because I feel like her, Lorena, and Drusilla are, like, my 3, you know, vampire girls gonna hang out, go to a bar, whatever. But I get to see less of her. Like, the reason why I love Drusilla and Lorena is because I saw so little of them that every time I saw them was kind of like, yeah, more. Need to stop. But now we get to the meat of this whole thing, okay? It's Delena, and Bayman. Okay, because this is a big love argument thing between fans. So let me just basically talk about this and how I feel about it in comparison to season 2. The love triangle of the story ruins the entire show. I'm saying that right now. I don't care if people are like, well, it's in the books, so we have to have Delena and this Delena thing. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Because let me tell you something about this whole argument. It's in the books. They disregard practically everything about these books besides Delena and Stelena. And yet, anytime a Bayman fan is like, oh, what's gonna happen? They're like, no, this isn't, like, but this is how it goes. So, Tiana will be Stelena. Rapunzel will be Delena, and Belle will be Bayman. So, it's basically like, okay, we're a couple, and we're in the books, and we happened right away, so we had to happen. We're also in the books, and we have to happen. That's why there's so much attention to Delena, because we're the most popular ship, and we're the most important, therefore we can't focus on, you know, developing Stefan's character, or developing Delena, because it's all about us, because we're the most popular ship, and we're definitely going to be endgame, so, like, whatever, right? And so we have Damon, yeah, wait, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, Bonnie and Damon hate each other, what are you talking about? But, in the books, the show and the books are different. It doesn't matter if it's in the books. The show is a different thing of the books. But Delena is in the books, yeah, and we're the main thing about the show. But that's because of the books. Yeah, that's why they have to happen. But Bayman's in the books. Bayman doesn't like each other in the show. But it's in the books. But it's not books. But you're in the books. It's different. Why? Because we're Delena. Duh. That's basically what it's like. Like, the argument about Bayman is so hilarious, because just like, the book argument can be fine for Delena, because it's like, we're Delena, we're awesome, we're the biggest show in the fan base, hoo hoo hoo. So, Bayman's like, well, you just cry. So, every time Bayman will be like, well, we're in the books, it's like, well, it's not like the books, but it's like, the reason why we have Stelena and Delena is because of the books. And if the books don't matter, fuck Stelena and fuck Delena, because I don't care about either of them that much, because they both weaken the show, because all you do is, with Stefan, he gets no development because he's with Elena all the time. Elena gets no development because she's just part of the love triangle, and Damon gets character development because now all of a sudden he has to be in love with Elena, even though there's no reason for them to have any attraction to each other whatsoever. So we got 3 characters who could be great alone, who are forced to be together, and therefore all of them get character assassinated for it. It's completely horrible. Like, we'll make Rapunzel Damon, and we're gonna make this Elena. I love you, Elena. You mean so much to me. Really? Really? Is that why you, like, killed my brother? He had a ring on. You didn't know that. Well, I still love you. Really? Really? So is that why you fucked my mom and turned her into a vampire? I didn't know she was your mom. Oh, okay. So that's why you killed my father. He was your uncle at the time, and you hated him. Oh, so that's why you raped Caroline. I glamored her and slept with her. It's not really the same. Okay, so that's why you tried to kill Lottie. She was fucking with my plans. Oh, okay, so that's why you tried to force me to become a vampire. I didn't want you to die. So that's why you don't give a shit. That's why you don't give a shit. So that's why you don't give a shit about my opinion, because you know everything. Well, I'm David. So that's why that girl you're with, you're just manipulating her and raping her and whatever, and that's like, cool, whatever, right? Yeah. I'm Damon. Did we not discuss this? Okay. It's alright. I love you because you're sick now. Like, seriously? Like, don't get me wrong. I love Damon. Damon's the reason why I started watching the show in the first place. I think his character is friggin' great. He's like, almost like a Lestat kind of character, and I like how fucked up he is, and I like how it's interesting to me, but I don't like how it's like, Elena has to save him. Like, no. Stop that. And for Elena to forgive Damon after all the stuff that Damon's done to Elena makes Elena look like a weaker character. And while I don't like Stelena, even though Stelena doesn't do anything for either of them, at least Stefan isn't going to kill her brother. This is how I think. Everyone's like, Elena will make Damon a better person. For me, if I was Elena, I'd be like, I don't know, I have to babysit someone who is 6 times my age. Like, Damon's a grown-ass man. He doesn't need to be taught to do things by Elena. And it's like Damon killed my brother when he was having a bad mood. So if I don't want to have sex with him, he's going to kill my cat. He's unstable. He has done nothing to prove that he's worthy of Elena's love. Besides the fact that, like, oh, I love you, I have to make all the hard decisions. I don't care. It's not your place, okay? Just because you like her does not mean that she needs you. Doesn't mean that you deserve her, okay? And this whole thing, because he's all like, oh, I don't deserve you, but then I love you. And it's like, stop, okay? Just stop. Because my issue is just that Stefan and Damon are both not the best kind of leads. I really don't ship either one. If I had to choose between two, I'd choose Delena, because Stefan's less crazy. Stefan has still done horrible things in the past. Horrible things. He was worse than Damon in the past, but that's in the past. He's tried to make himself better. Damon doesn't care. And while that's great when he's a villain character, when you make him a romantic lead, it becomes ridiculous, patronizing, and it makes Elena look like a worse character for being into him. To compare it to something, and I know this will probably be like another uproar and people are going to yell at me for it, but it's like Spike and Buffy. Spike is a great character up until they make him a romantic hero and try to make the whole Buffy and Spike thing work. Because it doesn't work. Because at the point where Spike tried to rape Buffy, that's when everyone should have been like, okay, Spike can get redeemed or whatever, but this cannot happen. But no, all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, they come back together. So it's like, all of a sudden Buffy forgets all the things that Spike did, all the horrible things he did, all the people he tried to kill. And it's like, okay, whatever. That's why those relationships to me never work. You know, everyone's all like, Angel is boring, Stefan is boring. At least they have tried to make up for the shit they've done. At least if Elena told them to leave, they would leave. Damon cannot let her go. Damon does not have to better himself to become like Elena. Because Elena's always like, I like you the way you are. Why? Why should you? Because he does nothing worthy of Elena's affection. And Elena should not have to bend her own morals to be with Damon. And if Damon's going to be a badass and just be an evil character, which is fine with me and I like him that way, do not try to make him a woobie and therefore try to push it to feel like Elena should take care of him. Because that's not fair. And that's not also a good character. Damon works best when he's being evil, when he's being a badass, when he's being all about him. The moment you make him all the stuff in love with Elena, you weaken his character so much. It becomes kind of a really boring character to watch. And I really don't like it. And I feel like people's all like, well, you hate Damon. I don't hate Damon. I hate Delena. Because there's nothing to come from that at this point. At least, and for me to talk about why I like Damon, I like Damon because Bonnie never took Damon's shit. Because Bonnie has always told Damon that he's bad, has always defended, you know, her friends and family against Damon. The only way Damon could ever be with Bonnie is if he changed for the better and gave up this bullshit. But he had to do it for him first. Bonnie would not go where Brendan need to make excuses for Damon. But Elena does. And she will. And the whole triangle thing is horrible for Delena also in the aspect of Damon is not just another love interest. Damon is her boyfriend's brother. Stefan gave up his morals to help his brother, to save his brother from dying. And Damon's gonna be like, fuck it, no matter what, we're just gonna get to go with Elena. It makes them all look horrible. It's probably one of the most annoying love triangles ever. The fact that everyone makes it about them is irritating. Same thing about True Blood, like the whole Eric, Bill, Suki thing, it's fucking annoying. And it always makes the girls look like a piece of meat. Like in the poster, I'll put the poster in the video, of like Elena laying down and like Damon and Stefan are on her neck. It looks like they're about to gang rape her. It legitimately does. It looks weird. You know, and it's just one of those things where it's like, get better writing. Get stronger writing. Because they have potential to be a great show. But they haven't stepped up their game. And now they're doing the Secret Circle. What Charmed is to Buffy what the Secret Circle will be like to the Vampire Diaries. And I really don't have high expectations for a Secret Circle. I mean, I'll watch it, of course, because I like the Vampire Diaries. But I just feel like these shows need to step up their game and be more than about, oh, this one's in love with this one, who's in love with that one, who's in love with this one. Because it's boring. And while a lot of fans will have been eating it up, I don't consider myself part of one of those fans. I love the Vampire Diaries for the plot, the characters, not because of the romance and the love triangles. Like, I don't care. Like, as much as I like Bayman and I don't like Baramy, it doesn't affect me watching it. I don't care if one of them has it or I don't. But the fact that everything in this show, like even in Comic-Con, just looking at this stuff, every question's about the love story, the love triangle. Like, no one gives a shit. Well, they do, but I don't. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about the love triangle. It's not important. It's not the best part of the story, and it doesn't do anything for the characters it's part in. So, I want it to go away. But it's not. But either way, I can't help but like this show. Because there are so many other good things about it. Like, when I talk about how I get pissy about it, that's one thing, but all these other things about the show make it better. But I feel like the mistakes that it does have disappoint me even more. So, that's my whole thing about the Season 2 of the Vampire Diaries. Also, they need to stop killing all the black people on the show and making them witches. I wish that body would be like Tara from True Blood and basically just call Elena out when she gets with him and be like, no, you're crazy, you need to stop that shit. Waiting for that day to happen. Probably not, but cross my fingers.